Hey everyone, this is Wei. Thanks for checking this video out, and let me show you how to draw a pretty face and still have it look pretty. In other words, how to draw accurately. So let me get started and I will talk about the process along the way. Alright, so let's draw this face. Let's see, I'm just going to start on the left side again because I'm right-handed. Now, I'm just going to start right on her eye, and I'm going to do her eyebrow first. Because at the beginning you need some kind of reference point, so I'm just going to start with that. And you can keep just look at the eyebrow, just keep in line the slant, right? So there's a certain slant to this. So that's how I got this eyebrow started. And then it's going to curve down. And then now we're going to go straight down to her eye. We can go, let's say this is the corner. Corner to corner is that angle, right? So it's that. And then now we have the corner of her eye. So I'm going to start doing, let's see, other corner of the eye, you can tell is like that angle, so maybe somewhere around here. That's the corner. And then you can also check it, like if you draw a line like this, slightly down, it's almost horizontal from the screen, so it's gonna be probably something close to this. And then let's draw our eye. I'll fill in the corner, and eyeball. Okay, so now we have something to go on, right? It's going to be slightly larger than the reference picture. So now we have our eye. So now we can do, let's say, just make a mark on the corner of the face, like how far is this? And if you compare it, it's kind of like the width of her eye, the white area. So it's probably going to be somewhere right here, somewhere around there. So, but let's get the other features too, because it's a little bit more important than the face. We can always fill that in later. Now, where's the nose start, right? If you look at it from a corner of eye, you go straight down. It's kind of slightly to the right of it. So if I make a mark straight down here, now we know the nose is going to be somewhere right here. But where, right? So we can triangulate it. If you take the corner here and we go like this, that is your angle. So we need to replicate that angle. And I'm going to push it right around. It's probably something around. Let's see, there. Probably somewhere around here, because that's going to be the angle. So now we know, this is going to be the corner right here. So now we have this. Okay, so now we have the corner. Now how wide is this nose, her nose? And if you look at it, it's probably the width of her eye. It's probably the same width. So I'm going to do the width of her eye is probably somewhere around here. So now we have the width of her nose. Now keep in mind there's still a slant here because the whole reference is slightly slanted. It's just slanting this way. So just to give us so that we don't draw a straight nose. Okay, so then from the middle here, then we can just fill in because once you have these 2 points here, now you can just fill in the rest. So now that we have those 2 reference points. So now we have our nose, and then let's go straight down to our mouth. Now how far is her mouth? Let's see, from here to here, it's probably from this distance to this distance. So from here to here, the same kind of distance, so it's probably somewhere right here. This is going to be your upper lip, and then we can draw this little triangle right here, which is probably around here, in the middle, and the lip. Now, corner of her mouth. Where's the corner of her mouth? And this one's slightly easier because if you go straight down from her eye, it's pretty close to vertical. So we're going to go straight down. We're going to continue this line, and this is going to be the corner of her mouth somewhere. Okay, so we need to find this angle, right? So we just kind of eyeball that, probably somewhere right here. So this. Okay, now we have a corner of our mouth. Now, to find the other corner, just keep in mind the slant here. Right, there's a slight curvature and it slants upward a little bit, and we need to replicate that. So it slants upward, and then let's see how far is this? And we can take this angle if you like from her nose, and we can replicate that angle, and that'll give us approximately right here. And we can fill in her lips, upper lip, and then her lower lip. Obviously, if you measure this, it's slightly bigger than her upper lip, which is pretty normal. So now we have this point, and then we can just fill in the rest. Okay, so now let's move back up and do our other eye. Okay, let's find how do we find this, right? So from this corner, you can see that slant right there. So we could need to replicate the same slant, which is probably the same as our lip too. So we're gonna slant this way. And now how far do we go out? Now if we measure, it probably reaches right at our nose if we go down vertical. So in general, that's how you measure, is by seeing relationships, like what is vertical and what is horizontal to each other. Like this point meets up with this point, um, and that's how you find those reference points. So now that we're at the corner of the eye here, we can measure. Let's see, the width of her eye is pretty much the same as her other eye. Now keep in mind there's a slant upward too, so it's gonna go up this way. So if we measure this width to this width, it's probably somewhere right there. And it takes a little bit of practice to be able to see a distance and put it somewhere else. But the more you do it, obviously the better you're gonna get at it. Okay, and then let's see her up. Now how big is this eye? It looks pretty similar to her other eye, so we can actually do a little guideline like this and go straight up this way, and that'll give us some reference points to work with. So draw her eye. Now notice this angle right here, and that's what I'm replicating right here. Here. Let's see, and then it goes down this way. Her eye kind of slants upward a little bit. We got the little line there. The eyeball and the iris, the pupil. Okay, now the eyebrow. We can measure this angle again. It's pretty much the same, and this one's, and then from here to here, that's where it starts, right from the corner of the eyes. And now we have this point here, and we gotta keep in mind this slant right here. So we're gonna do that slant. Okay, slant. And then how do we find this breaking point? When does it start breaking? We can look straight down, and it's gonna be right around this area, right on the eye, and then the corner, kind of like that. This angle. And it looks like probably need to make her. I think this eye's a little bit too low, but let's just go with it and see what happens. Draw it a little bit higher. Okay. So now we have this. Let's just finish off the rest of her face. Let's see, going back to this corner. Now, how far is this point right here? And you can measure from here to here. It's pretty similar, right? So you can get that angle like this. It'll probably bring us to the side of her face. And then now we can just connect this to this little bump. Straight down. Now her chin, how far is her chin? Down. Now keep in mind this angle too, because there's a slight tilt on the face, so let's just make a mark there. Now this distance looks like it's pretty close to, from the bottom of her nose. So we do that, and then we duplicate, double that distance. We're probably somewhere right here. So now we have this, and now we can just fill in the rest. This curvature right here is right under her mouth. This curves. Okay. And let's get the other side of the face. Let's get this point. Here to here, this distance is pretty close to her eye. Right, the width of her eye. So we double the width of her eye. Probably give us somewhere right there. So we can do that. Now we have this point. We can go straight down, kind of like this, with a slight curvature. Now where's the breaking point? Let's find the breaking point. If we go horizontally, it's right around her nose. So if we go horizontally here, it's going to be somewhere around right here. So this is where it starts curving, and that goes down, and we can connect that. Her ear, this is right above her nose a little bit, so probably somewhere right here. And then the top of the ear where her hair is, it's kind of right there. So it's gonna be, yep, right around there. So we can come down, down, and that's the ear. And let's do the hair a little bit, a forehead. Now to measure the forehead, it's a little bit harder because there's not a lot of reference points, but if we go straight up, see how far is this distance? It's probably, if you double it, it'll probably be somewhere right here. So we can measure from here to here, and then we double it. It'll probably be somewhere right here. Okay. And just like right here, it starts curving. We can look down. It's right around her eyebrow, right here. So now we know this curves right here. Goes straight down, and this part you can see just kind of goes in, go down. I think we can just kind of eyeball that. I mean, you can measure, maybe from this distance to this distance, how far is that, and things like that. But if some of them are a little bit more obvious, so you can just kind of quickly eyeball it in. Then a hair, here. Okay, so let's do her neck. Where's her neck? It goes straight up. It's right on the eye. Straight up. That's her neck. And this right here, right around here. Alright, so let's check the features and see how close we got. Let me make the lines a little bit darker here, and let's duplicate this layer, and I'll move it over, and then we can check it. So we're going to scale it up, because I knew I'd draw a little bit bigger. Let's scale it up, and let's find some points to match up, and let's do her nose. Scale it up. Her nose and her eye. Start with the eye. Okay. So probably be around there. Now we can check it. So looks like the error, let's see, we started from the eye. Here, and then again this eye was a little bit lower. I think I caught that at the beginning, but we just went with it. And then her mouth, it looks like, yeah, it needs to slant up a little bit more. I got it kind of straight, so as you can see the corner of her mouth is a little bit off. And then the chin, yeah, a little bit, could be a little bit lower. But I mean, overall it's not bad, for a first pass. So if I were to finish this drawing, what I'll do is, I'll correct those little errors and things like that. But you can see just by this kind of measuring method of just seeing relationships, you can get it fairly close on a first pass. And the more you do it, the more you're going to be able to see these relationships, and the more accurate you're going to be. So let me recap this real quick and just talk about some exercises that you can do. So whenever you look at anything like a face, what you want to do is start measuring and get angles of stuff. Like if I look at this face, what is the angle from the corner of the eye? Like what's the slant, right? If I exaggerate it, now you can easily see that it's slanting upwards. And how wide is her eye, and how wide is her nose, and you can start comparing things like. I'll say this eye is probably, not as wide as her nose, and her eye is probably only this wide, right? And then you can, in Photoshop, I guess you can check it easier, things like that. So it's just a matter of seeing relationships, this thing going straight down, and it's always like between vertical and horizontal. Those are the easiest one to measure, and vertically works really well because it's easier to see, like, from the corner of her eyes to her nose, corner of her mouth, how far does it go up, things like that. Like even like here, her brow, where does it go down, or here, and from here to here, what's the angle? So those are things that you want to look at when you're sketching and drawing. And so let me show you some exercises that you can do to improve your artistic eye. Alright, so to practice on seeing relationships, there's a lot of easy things you can do. let's just say, you draw a line like this, right? And then somewhere else, what you do is just try to draw that line again, but with the same width. So see if you can get it close to what you have drawn initially. So if I draw something like this, I think that's pretty close. Now, of course, I'm working in Photoshop, so it's easier for me to check. If you're doing with pencils and stuff, you can use a ruler and things like that. So, so it's really fun. You can just do something like that, and then just somewhere else, further away, try to draw the same length. And you can start checking how close you get. Another thing you can do is angles, right? Being able to see angles. Let's say I'm going to draw that. Or draw the same angle somewhere else. I can do that. And I can check it, right? Pretty close. Or maybe even something crazy, maybe a line like this. And try to draw the same shape somewhere else. And I can check it. So it's really good exercise because you can just go like that and then draw the same length somewhere else. I'll do that. Or maybe even draw it at a different angle, but try to keep the same length. Maybe something like this. That'll be pretty cool. Maybe let's see if that's close. So that's pretty close. So that's just trying to get used to seeing the length of things. Now let's say you're doing some placement. Let's say I'll draw a line like this, and I'm gonna take this edge. I'm gonna draw something on the bottom here that is to the left of this edge. So if I draw a line something like this, now this should be vertical. See, so that's pretty close, right? Now if you draw something like this, then obviously you didn't see that vertical comparison. So let's say I can do something like this. Let's draw something to the right of it. Maybe further down. Maybe I'll do it from here. Okay, and then I can check it. See how close I got. So I'm a little bit off, right? Obviously, the further down, the further the distance, the harder things are. So that's another way of checking placement. And here's something. You can also do this. Let's say you draw a circle. Now let's draw a line that represents the width of the circle. So if I were to see that circle, I'm looking at that circle. I'm trying to envision how wide that thing is. So I can check this. I think I might have drawn this a little bit too wide. Oh, actually, it's pretty close. So that's another thing you can do. So just do a little circle, and then let's draw a line with the width of this, maybe at a different angle. And see how close I can get to that. Let's say I do that, and I put it in. So that's pretty close. So those are exercises you can do. If you're drawing this and you're doing this, then you probably got a long way to go. But it's just a matter of training your eye, and it's pretty cool. Once you get it, it's just you see things a little bit differently. So yeah, just try these little exercise, and next time you see a face, just start envisioning this kind of stuff over it. Where is it matching up? What are the angles? And then you're gonna start seeing things, and once you're able to see it, then you can replicate it. Alright, so that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.